All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this webinar. My name is Fethi Zebaba. I'm a consultant for Fastcube Consulting France. I've been working on a lot of interesting projects using Board, and I am here today with you, to share with you the knowledge that I acquired using this business intelligence and corporate performance management tool. Okay. The main purpose of our session today is to present Board in a very comprehensive way, but not only that, but we're going also to show how it is used in reporting and dashboarding. So obviously we are talking about the business intelligence part of this solution. First off, let me give you a little overview about Fastcube Consulting. Then we're going to move to present a little bit Board. What is it exactly and in which way it manifests all its performance. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the architecture of this tool and this before we dive in or into the business intelligence demonstration. Okay, let's get to it. So to begin with Fastcube Consulting, so what you're doing exactly, or to present Fastcube. So Consulting is an expert in business intelligence and performance management domains. All right. So basically, we are delivering expert guidance and leading solutions with the sole purpose of improving our organizational decision making, but not only that, but also improving the performance of our customers. Okay. Um, as far as our expertise is concerned, we are present in these four dimensions. So as far as the business intelligence is concerned, we're talking about the best technologies to support the decisions. So we're talking about audit and expertise, most suitable tools, functional and business, data visualization, etc., etc. For the performance management aspects, we are using them, to respond to all your needs. So board is responding to all the budget planning needs, sales planning, payroll planning, cost calculation, etc. Um, board is also, offering some solutions for the financial consolidation. So we are talking about the data control and input, initialization and configuration, mapping tables, the management of different currencies, perimeters, standards, etc., etc. And as far as the data management is concerned, board supports you in the enhancement of your data. Um, so here we're basically talking about the architecture and integration, data virtualization, data analytics, governance, and security, right? So now let's talk a little bit about Fastcube. So what are you seeing here is basically some numbers of Fastcube Consulting. So as you see here, we have 14 experts in different domains. Um, we have 16 customers working in different sectors, 17 certifications for different tools and methodologies. We are working 100% using the Agile methodology. We have three locations around the globe, and our average time to develop a business intelligence application from scratch is basically around 45 days. All right. Um, Here, I'm going to give you an insight about the tools and the customers that we are interacting with nowadays. Okay, so as far as the data integration is concerned, we have the Nodo and TIPCO. As far as the business intelligence is concerned, we have Tableau and Power BI. We can also find board which have um, two sides. The first one is the business intelligence one, and the second one is the corporate performance management. And we have analytics too. So we can find also adaptive insights, which is using or which responds to CPM needs. And we have Solver too that I have to mention, which take care of the business intelligence side. Okay. Some of our clients, I want I want to be able to mention them all. I want to be able to mention all of them today. So let's say that uh, a lot of clients that we are interacting with are, very, very satisfied with our work and what we have done during, our uh, interaction with them. So we can find Group Guillaume, Mitsubishi Electric. We have Corsair, Pifto Bois, Economa des Armées, Canal Plus, etc., etc. Now, let's take some time and talk a little bit about our methodology as far as the projects are concerned. So first off, we proceed with 100% Agile methodology. So as you see here, we divide it into phases. The pre-project phase represents the comprehension of the business process, specifying the list of all the needs, but also specifying the parameters of the project. And once this is done, we pass into the initiation phase. Here we are regrouping some key users to do a deep analysis about the data. We are doing workshops and discussing the different options and approaches that we can use. After this, we will jump to what I call the building and the deployment phase. Here we are doing sprints, and in each sprint we are delivering a part of the solution. And this part is to be tested and validated by the whole team, of course, and also by every concerned user. So using this logic, we continue until we get the perfect application that we want to achieve, right? After this, after this big phase, if you will, and as a conclusion, we will pass to the production environment. So basically, we are talking about the go live and everything that goes with that, right? So we're talking about the delivery and support, etc., etc. Good. Why choosing us? This is a very good question. There are three main aspects that we all share here at Fastcube. So the first one is customer satisfaction. So we are talking about professionalism and transparent and ethical relationship. We have also the commitment part and the innovation part. So we are using a cutting edge technology, and every one of us, uh, every one of Fastcube organization is trying his best, to represent the commitment of Fastcube. So we are talking exactly about the responsibility and the promises respect. So here I just want to show you um, that Fastcube is, you know, uh, present in three different sites around the world. The first one is situated at Monterey in France. The second one at Montreal, Quebec, in Canada. And the third one is situated in Morocco, exactly in Casablanca. Okay, good. Now let's jump to the board part. So here we're gonna talk a little bit about board, its customers, uh, some uh, some details about the architecture, some details about the deployment, and this before we go to the business intelligence demonstration. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's get to it. So here, as you see, I'd like to show you some numbers of board and this before we go further. So let's see at a glance some interesting facts about board. So as you see here, we have more than 3,500 customers with more than 150 partners with a growth of more than 22.5% in 2018, which is unbelievable. And this was the 10th consecutive time that board achieve or um, get to this threshold of growth. So this is very interesting and very you know unbelievable. So here I'm showing you you know uh, the presence of board across the world. So board is present around the globe in many continents, Australia, Asia, Americas, and Europe. So we have board USA, board Mexico, board Argentina, board Swiss, board France, board UK, board Italy, board Hong Kong, board Singapore, board India, board Japan, and board Australia. Now, you know, I talked a lot about board, but if you want to have the basic idea of board, uh, its strategy and what it is doing exactly. Uh, I'm going to say this. Board represents a new era of decision making. It is unique because it is a one software platform that combines business intelligence, corporate performance management, and business analytics to enable organizations to make better decisions with more ease, with more speed, and with more accuracy. So is it provides all of these, you know, as you see here, it provides all of these features in one unique environment, okay, which is, very particular in this domain and area. All right. Now, there are two possible, uh, you know, there are two possible deployments of board. So the first one is on the cloud. The main idea here is to put both server, on the cloud. And as far as the security and the support are concerned, you have the board support team that takes care of the server remotely. Okay, so this is the first option. The second option is on premise. So this is basically a local deployment of both server, and it is up to the customer to take care of the management of this server. Okay, so here we have some customer reviews, some classification and rankings of both uh, done by Gartner and others. So I just wanted to show this. Here are some customers of both. So you have Coca-Cola, you have Saint Laurent, you have Nestle, you have Renault, you have Corsair, and you have many clients We find also Societe Generale, and so on and so forth. Okay. Here are some partners. So we have KPMG, we have ADOS, we have PMP, we have Parthena. So you have a lot of partners. So the purpose of our webinar today is, to show the demo of the BI side of board. So I'm not going to last a long time here showing the different partners of board, but you guys have the point. You guys have an idea about, you know, the different partners of board. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about the technology. So as every data management tool, we find some notions that are familiar to us. So we are talking about the metadata, the metadata. We are talking about the dimensions, hierarchies, cubes. Um, so let's explain in a brief way the logic of the building of board applications. So first off, we begin by the creation of the different dimensions and entities of board. Um, Usually the names of these dimensions are familiar to the business users, so usually uh, uh, this step is very, very important. Okay, once this is done, we head to the linking of these dimensions into hierarchies. Okay, and once this is done, we proceed to the creation of cubes that are, used to store the data. This data is coming up from different and heterogeneous sources. So we have relational databases, data warehouses, we have uh, ERPs, we have CRMs, you have the cloud too, Excel files, flat files, so on. Usually the data is transferred using the data reader of board. Uh, you may use the data entry, to enter the data directly from a board interface or a board screen. We can use data flows, to move the data from cube A to cube B. Okay. We are allowed to use, workflows, alerting, broadcasting, which is a model included inside the board package, which is, by the way, uh, which is not included natively to board, so you have to pay other part in order to include it, to your application. Okay. Once the cubes are created, we proceed to the creation of the screens that are components of a single application of board. So as you see here, we have capsule A, capsule B, and capsule B. Every capsule contains a different set of screens, and each screen contains some dashboards, some graphical presentations, some tables, some selectors, etc., etc. And once the application is deployed, the users are in the capacity, to view the results, to make decisions based on these presentations, and they can explore all this data using the Windows application of board, or they can only just view the results using the web. They are allowed to use the add-in office, so they can view their graphical representations and tables using Excel, for example. It is possible to see the results on tablet, mobile, and portal mashup. Okay. Good. So now let's jump to the business intelligence demonstration. Great. So now we're going to begin our business intelligence demonstration. As you see here, we have the board demo application. We have many themes that we can present in the next uh, webinars. But today, let's just focus on the sales analysis. So we are going to use this theme in order to, um to show the business intelligence side of board. So let's get to it. All right. So as you see here, we are in the sales dashboard. Okay. So as you see here, we have different selectors right above here. Many presentations, as you see, graphical presentations, tables, some KPIs with different numbers, interesting indicators, etc., etc. Uh, let's begin with a table, for example. So as you see here, we have a presentation of the net sales, previous year sales, growth percentage, margin percentages, and other percentages that are interesting in order to take decisions. All right. Uh, every information that we have here in these cells is presented by area manager and by channel. So if you want to select only the stores, we can do that by using these selectors. So this is the channel selector. So let's say that we want, to use or to see only the information related to stores. So I just selected stores and I'm gonna click on selection and up. All the data, all the data that I have here will be updated based on the stores only. All right. Now let's say that what I have in my table should be presented by area manager and product and not channel. So basically, we want to remove the channel entity and replace it with the product entity. So all what I have to say or to do is to remove the channel, go to entities column and look for the product entity. Here it is, up. I drag it, I drop it here, and my presentation will be like this. So this is just a preview about my next modification. So as you see here, all the information is represented by area manager and by item. Okay. Uh, okay. Let's apply it, or let's save this modification. So as you see here, we have basically what we want. Um, I'd like to remove the selection that I have made on the channel. So the selection obviously is not definitive, so I can go to the initial state, whatever and whenever I want. All right. Uh, okay. Now I'd like to know. Uh, okay. So for the area manager Brian, who sold the item A311 or 05 um, with 574 thousands net sales, I'd like to know which are or who are the clients that are concerned by uh, this sales. So let's just look for it. So what I'm going to use here is the drill anywhere feature of board. So this is going to allow me, to look for the exact information in a deep level. All right. So here I have the list of all entities that can be present in this table. And generally, all these entities are are a part of the cube that represents this data. Uh, in this example, we are going to look for the information that is present in the net sales column. Okay. Okay. So we said that we are looking for the customer. Here it is. I'm gonna select it and I'm gonna click on OK. All right. And here I have the details by customer. So we have only one customer that is concerned by this sale. Okay, fine. So now let's say we want to know which month this operation has been triggered. Okay, let's say that we want to know the detail uh, by month. Okay, here I have the detail by month. So basically, all the operations were done in the August and December months. Okay, so basically we can go further to get to a deeper level of information. So this is a pretty magic and very performant and very interesting feature of board that I like and that I use usually in the, let's say, on a daily basis. All right, fine. Now let's present just a little bit these graphical presentations. So as you see here, we have a presentation of the net sales in a bubble chart. Okay, so all these circles that we have here are products. All right. And each product is presented by its net sales as a radius of this circle. So the bigger the circle is, the more important the net sales are. Okay, so the bigger the product or the bigger the circle is, the more performant it is in terms of net sales. Okay, but we have two other axes. So the first axis is the y axis, which represents the margin. Okay. The second axis is uh, uh, okay. I'm gonna back up here. So the first axis is the y-axis, which represents the margin, and the second one is the x-axis that represents the growth. So the more the product is on the right, the better it is in terms of growth, and the more the product is on the top of uh, this presentation or this graph, the more the mm, the product is good in terms of margin. All right, let's have a look on the net sales that is represented in a pie chart. Okay, so here we have the different companies that are affected to our organization. So basically, we have 6 companies. Let's say that I want to know what is the performance of the company 5. Okay, so I can do that by clicking on selection. So basically what's going to happen is that all my selection that I have in the screen, including these KPIs that I have here, will be updated, and then I'm going to see only the information related to company 5. So let's just do it. So here basically I have exactly the information related to company 5, which is very interesting if we have or if we are willing to focus our analysis on one company. All right, good. Uh, Here we have also, a presentation by product family. So we have different families. So we have instruments, writing, knives, watches, etc., etc. And this is a bar chart. So basically, it's another representation or graphical presentation. And of course, we can focus the whole selection of the screen on the instruments by applying this selection. Okay, and here we have a deeper level. And of course, we can back to our first selection. So every selection on the screen is not definitive, so we can always go back to the initial state. All right, fine. Now, let's say for the sake of argument that we want to see uh, what happened during the 2018 year, during, the first quarter, so the first 3 months. So in order to select months in bold, we have to click on the concerned months. So as I want to select January, February, and March, so I have to click on the three of them. And this is going to take 2 to 3 seconds in order to update and give me the exact information. Good. Now let's jump to the next screen. So this is basically a regional analysis of our data. All the information that we have here is based by state and area. So the state is basically the country and the area is basically the city. So if we take, for example, Italy, we can find some areas here which are Milano, Roma, Napoli, Palermo, Venezia. If we take France, for example, we have Paris, Lyon, Marseille, Bordeaux, and so on and so forth. Okay. Uh, we included here, we have included here some indicators. So as long as the growth is negative, we have the red indicator. As long as the growth is positive, we have the green one. And for the margin, we have a certain threshold that we have, to meet in order to be green. Otherwise, it's gonna be orange or red. All right, great. So this is basically a micro presentation of my table. I can always, see a macro visualization of this table by clicking on the rolling up feature of board. So as long as I click here or the rolling up here, I have all the details concerning every state. And if I want to go deeper, I have just to click on this plus, and once I click on this one, I have the details. All right. In order to go back, I just have to click here in this minus sign, and here I have the detail by state. Uh, all right, here I have the net sales the previous year, and as you see here, we have just a little pie chart. Excuse me. We have little pie charts here that represent the proportion of the green and the red and the orange circles in each group. So for example, here I have 11 green lights and 2 red lights, which are indicators of growth. If I expand my presentation, so as I see, I have 2 red lights and the rest are greens. So which is represented by, the pie chart. So this is very useful. This is a very useful feature of board that I really like. Here we have the same principle basically. All right, good. Now let's say for the sake of argument that I want to know, uh, maybe what is happening exactly on what is happening exactly on London. So we are basically in the UK. So I come here, I do the selection, And as you see here, we have a graphical view. So basically, once I specify the area or the city, this map, this board map will be focused on this area. And to show the performance of board, we can also go further and try to find, the exact street. So we can go further and have the exact location by street, etc., etc., which is very amazing. Uh, by clicking twice on the London cell, I'll take, the selection of the screen of the sales regional analysis. I just clicked twice here, and it just redirected me to this screen. So I have basically the same selection that I had here. So the state is the UK, and the area is London. And if I check this out here in this customer analysis, I'm gonna find, the UK state selected, and of course the area is London. So this is another feature of the BA side of board. Here basically we have uh, a breakdown of the sales by customer. So basically here we have a list of the products that are mostly, sold to this company's clients or customers. We have, best-selling customers. This is a ranking of the best-selling and the less-selling customer. So as you see here, we have the customer 19, 21, 44, 43, 992 with 396,000 sales with a quantity of 3,546 as the best-selling customer. On the other side, we have less selling one with just 154 with one quantity. All right. So this is basically a ranking of our clients. Okay. Mm, let's say here that I want to know what is happening exactly in the sport dimension. Okay. Uh, so here I'm gonna focus my data only on the sport details. So I have only one item uh, with a best-selling customer and less-selling customer, which are pointing to the one customer. So here, basically, we have only one customer. Uh, and as you know, we can go further by doing the drill anywhere of board, which going to allows us, which going to allow us, to get to a deeper level of details. All right, good. Let's jump to the next screen. So this is basically presentation or breakdown of our numbers and data by products. So basically here we have the bestseller concerning the products, which is the item 101901. Uh, as far as the customer is concerned, we have this customer, uh, this net sales that is affected to this customer with this quantity, etc., etc. We have some rankings concerning the margin percentages, the exact margin. Uh, as you see here, we have some presentation or breakdown of the products that are sold to the clients. We are mentioning the gross sales, net sales, discounts, standard costs, first margin, commissions, distribution costs, second margin, and indirect costs, margin, percentages. All right. We have other representations that we are going to break down lately. Okay. So here I just want to mention that we can affect to each cell of the products that are shown here with an image. So here basically for each item that I have, I can see its correspondence as far as the product is concerned and its shape and colors, etc., etc. So here, as you see, we have different images that are affected to each product, which is amazing and very useful in many cases. Okay. All right. So here, basically, we have another representation of the graphical views of both. So we have the cost distribution. So we have distribution cost, indirect cost, commissions, standard cost, etc., etc. So here we are just breaking down the whole cost by type, if you will. Okay, and obviously we can use the selection of both in order to get only one type of these um, different types of costs. Okay. And obviously the selection is not definitive, so I can go back to the initial one whenever I want. Good. Let's jump to the next screen. And the next screen is concerning the performance. All right. So here basically we have like one graphical representation, which is the tree map. So here we have basically a breakdown of the quantities and net sales by product family and by channel. So what I have here in white are the different product families, and each product family is grouping its different channels. So I have the Mega stores here, direct, outlets, discount stores, duty free. Concerning the writing, Uh, as far as the instruments are concerned, I have the same channels, etc., etc. And here we're showing the proportion of each product family in the global basis, in a global basis. So here, let's say that you know the writing is taking a big part of the whole sales that we have uh, in 2018. All right. And this table is showing exactly this data on more elaborated or more representative way if you want, to see these numbers in cells, etc., etc. We've affected to this data some indicators. So we have some alerts, red, orange, green, depending on the trajectory of each product family, all right, with affected margin that goes with it. Okay, so let's say for the sake of argument, I want to know what happened exactly in 2018 in the first 6 months. So I'm going to select the first 6 months. Okay, now I want to know the detail by instrument and by duty free. So I'm going to select this one up. So here basically I have what I want. So we just did a focus on this exact record. Now I want to know what are the concerned clients or customers. So here I have the list of the concerned customers with their different numbers and indicators, etc., etc. Okay, good. And as I said before, we can always go back to the first presentation, and there is no problem as far as the selection is concerned. Okay, good. Now let's jump to the last screen, which is the salesman performance. Okay, so here basically we have other types of graphical views. As you see here, we have the heat map. Uh, we have another table that is representing, other details of our data. Uh, we have also another presentation of the month selection. So here basically we can just specify the area that we want to analysis or to analyze. Okay, so let's just take from May to October. So here basically I'm doing my focus. Okay. Uh, all right. So here, as you see, the darker the square is, um, the more important the gross sales are. Okay. So let's present it with uh, a more efficient way. So here, basically, we have a set of product families. So we have watches, knives, writing, etc., etc. And all these or every one of these product families or every one of these records is presented by state and by area manager. Okay, let's just show it by state in order to see the difference. Okay, so basically I'm going to have the different states that I have in my database that are, that are containing some data. Uh, and here I have the distribution, of my gross sales by product family. All right. Now, let's say for the sake of argument that I want to present this not only by state, but by state and area. This is possible. So I'm going to add the area entity to the rows. So basically here I have the Switzerland country or state with its different areas, which are cities, so Zurich, Basel, Xi'an, with their different distributions. Okay, so this is very powerful. We can add what we want here on as far as the axes are concerned. Okay, as you see here, we have you know uh, a set of cubes that we can present in our graphical view. Um, we can specify certain selection concerning a specific graphical view. Um, okay, we can apply the selection by clicking on apply. We can go back by clicking on cancel, or we can save the changes by clicking on save. Okay, we have other parameters that we can use here. So this feature is very, very interesting. So we can do a lot of things using the data view or the layout of both. We can add algorithms, we can add some rules, and we can add some functions like vertical cumulated values, like cumulated vertical cumulated counter 80 to 95 ranking, etc., etc. All right, here we have access to all our available entities. So basically here we have the time entities that are generated by default in bold, and the other remaining entities that we have created in order to establish our data model. Okay, great. So let's just go back to our presentation. Uh, okay. As far as these presentations are concerned, we can always use them otherwise. So here, for example, I want to share this view with the whole organization. So this is possible by exporting the data using the export data feature of both. So by clicking on this or on the Excel icon, I can export it on Excel. And once this is done, I have the data view downloaded to my own computer, in my own computer for it. Okay. We can also create reports. Okay. But in order to do that, there is, certain conditions that you have to respect. If these conditions are not respected, you may have some errors in this kind. Okay. Uh, One of these errors or these requirements that you have to respect is the title of your data view. Okay, and there are a set of other requirements that you have to respect. Otherwise, your exportation or your export won't work. Okay, good. We have the possibility, to look up for a specific record in our table. So let's say, for example, that I'm looking for the Perez, which is situated in Spain. So I just have to put up the name of the record that I want to find. Once this is done, I have the exact record with its different um, specifications and the data that goes with it. Okay. In order to go back, I have just to click here and I'm going to go back to the first state. All right, so this was, a bunch of the business intelligence features of board. So obviously we have other features that we didn't show today, but maybe we're going to show them in the coming webinars. But I mean, I just showed the features that are more important or the most important in my own opinion. You know, I hope to see you in the upcoming webinars. Until then, just take care and have a great day. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.